Hi everybody, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Marsha Parker, and today I'm going to do the season 1 review for A Handmaid's Tale. So, overall thoughts about the show, just to start with, I was really hesitant about watching it because I wasn't really sure what A Handmaid's Tale was, and it didn't really seem like it would be something I'd be into. But after all the hype behind it, and it recently came into Hulu, I was like, well, I might as well watch it since it's free. I'll just get into it. And I'm so glad that I did. It was so well put together. The story is fascinating. The acting is amazing. The set design, the cinematography, everything to do with the show blew me out of the water. And I'm going to start with the story. So if you're not familiar with The Handmaid's Tale, get familiar. It's also a book, which I recommend reading and watching the review that we're going to put up about the book, because I did finish it as well. But the story is, it's a reconstruction of a handmaid during this dystopian world that came to be after some sort of civil war that America went through. The people were having issues with population, so women weren't having as many babies, so our population was going down. There was a lot of uprising about, abortions, women going to work because of this. There's a lot of issues about rights being taken away. Very similar to a lot of other civilizations who have partaken into such things. Then there is history behind some of this, of how the story was developed. So it was really interesting. So the handmaid, she actually was taken. Her daughter was stripped from her, and her husband was also taken. She had a choice to either go to the colonies, which is a place of horrible nature. Basically, there had been some sort of nuclear fallout. They don't really go into too much detail on it, but they send women there who don't cooperate, and they pretty much shovel out nuclear fallout, and eventually die. She had a choice of that or becoming a handmaid, which means she has to have this sort of ritual of sexual relations with the commander, who's a high-ranking individual in the regime, and to have a baby, and then they would take the baby, and she could then be okay, not have to go to the colony. She'll be set for life if she actually bears a child for them. And you only have so much time to do this. So this is her tale. This is her experience of going through this. You learn about her, experience of being taken away from her family. You learn about her experience of going through the Red Center, which is where they reprogram the females, the handmaids. You learn about the Underground Railroad that they put into place, and so many other aspects that go with these type of stories. And you're hearing it from her reconstruction, and they make a big deal about it being her reconstruction. It's very, very fascinating. The acting was phenomenal. Everybody did a fantastic job. Can't think of the main actress's name at this point, but it's very believable. And you have the headmistress, who's also she's actually from Chuck, if you ever watched Chuck. And I was blown away by how well and put together everything was, and the flow of the dialogue and the writing. The set design was awesome, because here it is. It's believable. If you know anything about the Handmaid's Tale, it was written in 1984. However, the way that it was written, and also the way it's presented in this film or television series, it's timeless. You don't really get a lot of those technology tropes and things like that. So they do a good job of kind of setting it to where it could happen anytime And in any era, it could be now, it could be future, it could be in the past. So I was very, very happy with all of that. There's no real like CG or practical effects. I mean, you have some blood, and there are hangings, and there are some like brutal parts in it where people are getting bruised up and beating, and the makeup jobs, even though it's not like huge horror, it is very horrific, because if it is something that does happen or could happen and technically has happened in the past, it is terrifying, and you don't know what you would do and the choices you would make and how that turn out. So I highly recommend it. In the first season, we get as far as her escaping. So I don't want to I just kind of spoiled that for you. But just watch it, because a lot of things do arise with that. So yeah, so that was my review for The Handmaid's Tale. I highly recommend it. It's free on Hulu, so if you have Hulu, then it doesn't take much but your time to watch it. Leave your comments below. Let me know how you liked it, or if you didn't like it, and if you find it relatable. There were scenes in this show that really got to me as a mother, and it just made me kind of cringe, because it's the thought of, you know, these children getting ripped away from their mothers, and then, you know, the psychotic breaks that they have because of this, and the danger of the children. There's a lot in here that really just leaves some food for thought. So definitely check it out. Leave your comments below, and thank you for joining us. This has been The Horror Show, and I'm Marsha Parker, and remember, stay scared.